Welcome to the Adaptive Outdoorsman Podcast. It is brought to you by Action Trackchair, proud sponsor and champion of outdoor accessibility. Action Trackchair is committed to empowering individuals with mobility challenges to explore the great outdoors with freedom and independence. Whether it's hunting in rugged terrain, casting a line by the water, or hitting the trails for a hike, the Action Trackchair is the ultimate all-terrain wheelchair that empowers you to get outside. Custom build your Trackchair today at actiontrackchair.com. Action Trackchair, unlock adventure. I would like to introduce our guest, Marine Corps veteran Joey Hummel, chairman and co-founder of Real Warriors Foundation, a veteran 501c3 dedicated to providing all veterans the ability to fish, network, and find resources to help them through everyday life. Welcome to the show.
What's going on, Sean? How you doing?
Oh, had nasal surgery and happening to do a monologue in the beginning of the whole episode always is fun. So I get to move up my moniker and adapt.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming on. I know we had to reschedule due to, and I told my wife this. I'm like, we had to reschedule because our children wanted our attention
Both
first.
of them, yeah. They were like, no, you guys aren't doing it today.
Yeah, pretty much mine first. Then I became available. You're like, no, mine's now. Hey, I understand this entire emotion. Needless to say, not 10 minutes after I got off, which was, getting ready to, us record, she woke back up. So that night was completely fun.
Yeah. That's funny.
But so I'm really glad to be able to get you on. I heard about you from our good friend Dan Horgan.
Oh yeah, Dan. Dan's a good guy.
Yeah, he was doing one of his lives on Instagram, and I just so happened to be at work, and I'm like, oh, I'll listen to Dan talk for a little bit, and because I'm at work, I can't do anything. I'm just talking gets you through the day because you're focused on something else. And then you mentioned your nonprofit and what you do for veterans. And I was thinking, I need to have this guy on. So
yeah, we started Real Warriors Foundation February 25th of 2019. The guy Nick Piscatelli is a good friend of mine. Yeah, he was an Army medic. He was with the 101st. Did a couple of tours in Iraq, and he became my roommate through another veteran during a time when I was kind of down and out, not in a good place. And he basically became my roommate, and we solved a lot of world problems, drinking bourbon late night, ordering tacos, and solving world problems. I started dating my then now wife, and we started fishing. We started out on a lake, standing on the shore of a lake, just throwing cast out. And he was teaching me, because I'd never done that. And to the point where we were going out in the ocean for 2.5 days, catching dorado, mahi, yellowtail, all bluefin tuna, all big game fish. I came back I ended up getting marrying that woman. She's not my wife, and now have a kid, the one that stopped us from our podcast. And he said, we came back from our honeymoon. He was still our roommate. He was finishing up school at Chapman University in California. And he goes, let's start a nonprofit taking veterans fishing. And I went, fuck yeah, let's do it. And sure enough, it just took off. And now we have a bunch of different people that have become part of the organization. We not only do saltwater fishing now, we're getting into hunting, just the outdoor life, and getting veterans an opportunity to come together outside and find a place to where they can, that community we had when we were in the military, you lose that when you get out. You go back to where you were in high school or, your home of record. And then all of a sudden you're alone, isolated, start drinking, and then depression, anxiety, all those elements start kicking in. And, VA's like, here, take some drugs, so why, what are you going to do? So that's why you're seeing a lot of veteran outdoor activity. It's great. So there's a lot of opportunity out there for veterans to get outside, try new things, and that. So that's how we started, and we're just continuing growing now.
Yeah, it is really inspiring to not only talk to you about your nonprofit, but all the other ones as well, with that mission focus of these guys need purpose in life. They need to have a place to go and talk with their fellow brothers and sisters because, and I know this from, just talking with you and everybody else, we don't need them having the other part, basically. We want them all happy, healthy, and engaged.
Yeah, I remember seeing a video. It was a documentary, and it was when all the documentaries were coming out with Afghanistan
Oh,
and
yeah.
Iraq and all that. And this reporter was embedded with a unit, an army unit in Afghanistan, and he was with them for like 4 or 5 months. And he never understood what the camaraderie and the brotherhood until he was there with them. And that's why he went out there. And then when he came back, he says the difference that I noticed was that when you're in the military and you're with your unit and you're in combat, you're in war for that 20 years, that from '01 to 21, you were there. And when you went to work that day, you're like, I'm going to die so you can go home to your family. And the other guy's going, no, 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 I'm going to die for you so you can go home to yours. And the people are willing to die for each other. And then you get out in the civilian world, you get out in the military, and people are willing to step on your back to increase their career. And you're like, what the heck? So there's a mistrust there. And so, and that feeling that a lot of veterans get when they say, "Oh, I was in the military," you're like, "Oh, we're good. I trust you. We're good." There's an element of barrier that has been immediately broken down because we've been through we've been in the shit together. We've seen some of the same turmoil, the same stresses in life, and that.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what we're just creating, and we're just giving veterans that opportunity to connect.
Yeah. That's awesome. I know my dad, he served in, I think it was Vietnam. I could be wrong. Like I said, if anybody's trying to figure that out, give me a place where I can figure that out and look online because I'd like to make certain. Because my mom says one thing, my dad says another. I'm like, I'll go with the guy that was serving for now, but and
Yeah.
I don't mean that as a disrespect to my own father. I just, uh, my father was known to add on. And
Yeah.
so I'm like, I want to double check, not because I don't trust him in that way, but I'd like to get my story straight from my perspective. That way, if somebody comes knocking at my door, I'm like, hey, you said such and such. I'm going off of what the information I'm told.
Yeah.
But
The information provided. Yeah.
yeah,
My dad did Marine Corps. He was in from '69 to '91, and then he retired a first sergeant of DI school in San Diego. And he was on
yeah,
the drill field from '84 to '91. He had some pretty good stories. The funny thing is he did 22 years in the Marine Corps, but by the time that he was in, he was on his way to Vietnam when they started pulling everybody out, and they did toward him to Japan. And he ended up stationed in Japan for like 2 3 years, and as they were pulling everybody back, so he never ended up going. And he was AVI on F4s, but so he never his stack or his ribbons. I have more variety than he does, and I was
yeah,
in for five.
yeah.
So,
My dad, I believe, from what he told me, he was stationed over in Germany during the time of the pullout. So
oh, was he?
he got over to Germany, and that's when they started pulling everybody out. So same situation with your dad. Basically, they got over to there to get ready, and they were the ones that didn't have to endure what happened over there.
Yeah, that was it. That was a different war. When I came back from Iraq in '03, we were flying through Bangor, Maine, and I remember a lot of those Vietnam veterans. They made sure. I think we landed in there at like 3 in the morning, and they make sure the bar was open for us because it was like a DC-10 or some or 737 that picked us up and flew us in there coming from Germany, and they made sure the bar was open. They were hooting and hollering and cheering. They had a whole like the USO and all these Vietnam vets. They were all there to make sure that uh, we were appreciated and we didn't have the struggles that they went through when they came back. 'Cause they were
Yeah,
not appreciated, and they were forced to. A lot of them, they're drafted. They were like, no, you're going. You don't get a
yeah,
choice. So
yeah. And then, like you said, it was that anti-war sentiment when they came home, and they were being called every name of the book, and
yeah,
that doesn't That doesn't help anybody's mentality.
No. Yeah. They would. I remember one guy told me that I remember him telling me that he just hid out for 6 months till his hair grew out. Get it long, and then he went out and socialized. You
Yeah.
know, that's it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad because you didn't want anybody to know you were in the military, and if you had a short haircut, they knew,
Oh yeah.
especially in the '70s.
Yeah. Thank God I was not born in that era. No offense to anyone there. I was an '80s kid, born in the '80s.
I see you're younger than me. I'm a '70s kid.
Hey, we're not that far off of each other.
Close, close.
Yeah.
I got a lot more gray than you do.
No, my dad, it took him, he's 69 now. He'll be 70 the day before my daughter's first birthday. So he got the birthday present of his grandchild, which I forever get to hold over him now. But he didn't start turning pure gray till 65 in the head.
Really?
So 60, late 60s is when, mid to late 60s is when he started turning. And now that he's almost 70, yeah, now he's gone pure platinum. So I'm hoping beyond hope that this is what's going to stay for the next 20 years.
Yeah, I started graying when I was about 40,
Hey, I just turned 40 this year, so.
and then I started nonprofit, and then it just
Nope, we're doing the reverse option here. You went gray first up top. I'm going gray down at the chin all the way.
oh no, that's where it starts. It starts here, and then it starts peppering up.
Oh yeah,
Then
I
you
got
get,
like.
then it starts going on your chest here.
Oh, please don't remind me. I'm actually starting to see those. But no, I'm telling people about this story now. It's like there's a guy that's about a year or two below me in grade. So when I graduated in 03, he was like 04 or 05. But in 2 years, this guy, I think he's about 38. He's probably my wife's age. In 2 years, he went from blonde to silver. And he's a weatherman. Or a sport. No. He's weather or sports. I don't know.
He's on TV.
I'd have to look. Yeah. He's stressed out and all that.
Yeah, stretch will do it to you. So, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Starting
So
a business, a nonprofit, and all that fun stuff.
yeah, that's it. The nonprofit is the one thing I like is everybody that is part of it, from our board members to our volunteers. Everybody volunteers their time. Nobody's getting paid. We all have paying jobs. We all work. Um, so that's a blessing. And everybody enjoys it. I think one of the guys that's been with the organization for 5 years now. Another one or five. I'm only the only original one left. Nick has since stepped down or stepped away. He's got a family now and taking care of them and whatnot. But he's got an open chair if he ever wants to come back and get more involved in that. But we continue to grow. Right now we're in California. We have our fishing. We've done a pig hunt, hog hunt there. Here in Texas, we do a golf tournament. We do our gala. Our end of the year gala is here in San Antonio.
Yeah.
And then we're doing hunting, and we're starting to get into hunting and fishing here. We have a ruck march that we do up in Illinois. We have a veteran that came out with us on a trip back in 2021. He's doing that, and then he's taking veterans fishing. He has a little fundraiser there that takes veterans fishing on the lake and Great Lakes, and he's getting a big turnout. And he's looking at doing. He goes, "Do you think I can go up to Canada go hunting?" I'm like, "Anything you want to do. Like, if you want to do it, by all means, take some veterans, get them out. Let's get them outside. Any excuse to get them. You want to do shuffleboard? I'll do some shuffleboard. I don't care. Any reason to put veterans together in a community style environment. That's what it's about. So
I
yeah.
I would love to do something for like veterans in that way, but mine kind of involves like the gun range sort of thing. Like Brent Herrera and Donut Operator, and
Oh yeah.
they have like that range day sort of thing. And then I had the question of, what is the legal and logistics needed to put a minigun on a track chair? Yeah, I know. I did something that, it's just a gift. It's not because I want to, do something stupid and illicit. I want it perfectly legal, everything very well put out, and might have to scratch that part out a little bit, but it's like not really, I don't even care if it is attached. I just want to be able to have somebody, like a veteran that can't hold a rifle or something to be able to shoot it. I think I know it's talked to a guy before, and he said, yeah, all we had set up was it was set up on a tripod and whatnot, and all they had to do was push a button or something or whatnot. And I'm like,
That's probably the one when they did. That's when
Black Rifle
the
Coffee, I
Black
think.
Rifle did the Prius. Yeah,
Yeah.
they put a minigun on the Prius.
Yeah.
That would. I have to ask about Dan. Yeah, a lot of the. I got that's how I met Dan is through Black Rifle because they supported us at one point with their nonprofit when we had our golf tournament and doing fishing trips and stuff like that, which was great. So, but when they went public, that changed. I mean, they're still a good company and they're still doing good things. But once you go public, you really shareholders are the ones that can make decisions.
Yeah.
Not the people running the company. The shareholders are like, I don't want to do that. We're not doing that. Yeah.
So pretty much you got to have start up your own small little one that is offshoot where, okay, I'll pay for this.
Yeah. I mean, well, I'm not knocking. They did amazing things, did a lot of great things. And that it's just shifted and that's fine. They're still making a difference. That's the biggest part is, they just specifically, I know they helped out Special Warfare Foundation. That there's a bunch of different ones, when they helped us out, it helped us at the very beginning when we were still growing, and that made a big difference because when you're young, a lot of people are reluctant to give money to nonprofits when they're very young. Typically, the second the second year or third year is when you start to see people because you've survived, I guess, and you're actually like making a difference and you're growing. So
yeah, I know. Yeah, I think I talked to, and I'm just using my experience with podcasting to, show about the generality of it is for podcasting. I know it's year 5. They say year 3 or 4 is when you start getting your sponsorships because you've been there for a while. You've beat out that attrition number, and then year 5 is when you start actually becoming something more, basically.
Yeah, it's the consistency element. One of the things so my 9 to 5 or my 12 to 12, what I do for a living is I'm a loan officer. So I'm a vice president at the Federal Savings Bank right now, and I help people with mortgages, so VA loan and construction loans, financing. And one of my coaches that I work with, confidence brings competence, right? And you need to be consistent is one of the biggest things that you have to be in life and what you do. Doing that is probably one of the most important things. So that's all it is, So what are you being consistent with your job? And after 5 years, how many episodes? Perfect example is Joe Rogan. Like everybody's like, oh, have you ever watched episode, what is it, 1,000, 1,200 or something like that? I don't know. Yeah, but he's been doing that since what 2000 when YouTube first came out. I just want to sit down and talk with people, much like this, and that's awesome. And now look at it. Yeah, it's definitely that 5 year mark.
Yeah,
That's been that be a big difference.
Yeah. Well, according to Gemini AI, Joe Brogan has done over 2,600.
Yeah.
Whew. I know. Yeah. Yeah. I was taught. Yeah. Good Lord. I can tell.
A lot of conversation.
I'm having a blackout moment where it's like, slap your face, slap your face, slap your face.
That's a lot of conversations. It's a lot of information.
Yeah. It was I had a conversation with the same guy, and I wanted to make sure I got his name right when I tell it. It's like, yeah, Dan Johnson, 9 Finger Chronicle. I asked him that question about the profiting and sponsorship and all that, because obviously that's very important to me. Dude just celebrated 1,000 episodes recently.
Wow.
So, and he's still going. He has 2 or 3 other new podcasts he's doing now. It's like, yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole. My biggest issue for me with the whole podcasting thing is always going up to somebody and say, "Oh, would you like to sponsor?" The whole sponsorship thing for me. I'm, I, I've been described as the good old boy, the goody
Okay.
two shoes. So the fact that I got what I have is phenomenal for me, and I'm, obviously not wanting to screw that up. But I mean, yeah, it's definitely something worth doing and everything. I think I just lost my train of thought.
That's all right. That's all right. Yeah.
That rabbit hole went to a dead end.
Yeah. Wait, have you
So,
ever been? Go ahead.
oh no, I was going to ask about fishing and hunting, but you go first.
No, that's what I was gonna say. So, what are you gonna ask me about fishing? I mean, I could tell you whatever
Okay,
I've learned in the last 7 years. It's
so
been 7 years.
I want to know a crazy fishing story that you took a veteran out on. That's what
Oh,
I want to know. We're
well,
going
we
to get
got
on fun
plenty of
things.
those. We actually, well, we had so one of the people that come out and support us is if you know Tito Ortiz, UFC champion, Hall of Famer, Tito Ortiz.
I know of him. Haven't talked to him. I want to,
Yeah.
but
So he comes out fishing with us. Yeah, Huntington Beach bad boy. So me and him connected in 2020 during right around COVID time frame, and we started doing a tournament. So he comes out on the boat with us now. He now lives in Florida, but he comes out every once a year and gets on a boat and hangs out with the veterans. And a lot of times the veterans don't even know he's coming. We never tell them. It's a great little surprise. And they're like,
nice.
"Holy shit, it's Tito Ortiz!" But he's been fishing since he was 14 years old, and he loves it. It was super therapeutic for him in his life, so he sees a lot of value in that. And the
Yeah,
time on the boat is what makes the biggest difference. Our first charter, which he wasn't a part of, but was our inaugural charter was in July of 2019. We had 21 veterans on board. 19 of them landed fish. All of them ranged between 70 to 110 pounds. And that probably was the really big difference was the first day when you saw everybody got on the boat, they were like, yeah, hi, connections, and they talked, but it wasn't anything extravagant. They were kind of like, all right, I've never done this. What do I do? Blah, blah, blah. When we came off the boat a day and a half later, because we left Friday night and got home Sunday morning, they walked off the boat. They had become friends. We went and had breakfast afterwards. It was the community, and a lot of the people still talk today, and they all live right in each other's backyard.
nice.
That's when we figured out that what we were doing, it wasn't just a vacation. It was a community that we had just built and brought resources to each other's lives. Whether it's just community, a phone call, hey, help me move. I need to move a fridge. Those are the things that make a difference. My buddy Jeff, that I served in the Marine Corps with, I got out in 2004. He stayed in. He got medically retired. He had a bad back, but we hadn't seen each other. Well, I moved back to Orange County, California in 2013, and I get a random phone call from him, and he's like, "Hey, me and you, I just moved back to Huntington Beach." He's like, "I need to move some stuff. Can you help me move?" That's the call I get 9 years later, right? And what does every veteran do? Yeah, where am I meeting you? So me and him met up and just picked up right where we left off, and that was that's what it's about, and that's what building that community that we need for veterans. Um, but the fishing is the record fish right now is a 238-pound bluefin tuna. Yeah. So these fish are not small; they're big. Don't It's not just one. It's not like a little bass where you pull it up. It takes like 5-10 minutes to reel it in. Hold the fish up now. These are big fish. And then when they're done, we take them off the boat. They process them and they slice up all that bluefin tuna and toro. You take it home and then you just slice it up and cook it, feed the family. So
Good
it's
Lord.
pretty awesome. The biggest fish is, like I said, it was 238. For me, my biggest fish is 140 pounds. Uh,
That
that
still
was
ain't
pretty.
light.
No, it's not. The the that was a funny part. A good story is when I first started fishing. So when I first started with Nick, I didn't catch a fish for like 5 or 6 times that I went out there. Never caught a fish. I'm just like, this is stupid. I mean, I'm just standing here putting your line in the water, and you're just sitting there, doing that. Um, and we're out in the boat. We're out in the ocean now, and the fish. There's about 20 of us on this boat. It's a 110-foot yacht. Okay, you get breakfast. There's lunch. There's dinner. You're
Oh my
sleep.
goodness.
Yeah, you're out for a day and a half, 2 days, and it's 20, 25 people. They have a full on kitchen. You're having hamburgers. We're having steak for dinner, hamburgers for lunch, pancakes, eggs for breakfast. There's a whole galley in there. Then you go down in your berthing. You have a whole sleeping rack with a mattress that you sleep on. And then when they're on fish, they call you and everybody runs up to the deck, grabs their fishing pole, and they put it in the water. Well, we
Nice.
hit a school of fish and it was just going off. It was a frenzy. And water's just spraying up because the fish are going crazy and everybody's hooking fish and everything. And I get a piece of bait, throw it on my hook, and I throw it in the water, and I'm just sitting there looking at it going, this is dumb. And the deckhand comes over and goes, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. Because I don't. I've never done, I don't know what I'm doing. He's like,
Right.
they're Dorado, they're sight fish. Come here, let me show you. He grabs a rod and he goes, see that fish right there? And he goes, and it hits, and then you see that rod just go boom like that because it grabbed that hook, bait and took off, and he set it and he goes here, and he grabbed it, and I was like, holy crap! It was so crazy with all the fish that were going in. The guys were just grabbing gaffs and just throwing them in the water. I didn't even reel my fish in. Somebody just grabbed it with the gaff and put it on the deck, and I knew it was mine because of the line that was going to it.
That's nice.
And it ended up, and so that was the first time, and it was. Then after that, I was just throwing baits and I was yanking fish. I limited out. I think I caught 15 fish that day, and that's when I was like, all right, I'm hooked. This was awesome. And
I need to go
the
with you guys.
well, it's not like that every time. The last time we went out, we only caught 2 fish. That's why it's called fishing. You don't get
Right.
something every time. But that downtime that you get in between with veterans out on the water, there's no cell service. There's no alcohol. We don't let alcohol on the boat.
No,
Um, yeah,
you're talking.
because a lot of veterans use that as a dependency, and we want to remove that. And when you're in international waters, there's no marijuana, there's no drugs, you can't do all that. All you have is the person to your left and to your right, and they're all veterans. So that's the community that we're creating in that. And so it's become very, very, very good therapy for a lot of guys. I've seen guys that quit. One of the guys quit, Tito. He was sitting there giving me his woe is me story. Oh, just lost my job and I got another one, but I don't know if I want to do it. I'm like behind on my car payment and da, 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 and I'm just gonna drink a beer. And he goes, dude, everything you're telling me, Tito just made. He goes, dude, quit fucking drinking. It's like, and so he quit drinking. Guy just ended up buying a house, and yeah, it was great. So there's little things like that, some really great stories that have come out of it.
I'm not even knocking alcohol or whatnot because if you can handle the moderation with that sort of thing, you can. I'd say drink responsibly. But if that's the one thing that's stopping you from living a healthy life, I say more the power to you. If like some guys say, hey, I'm been sober for a while, I don't need that around me. My first reaction is, all right, you ain't gonna see it.
Yeah.
I got no problem. I think the last amount of alcohol I drank was just a day or so ago when I was making venison stew in the pressure cooker, and I poured just a little bit in there, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if it tastes good or not still, because I've had that bottle for a year in the fridge.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't. I quit drinking December 30th of last year. I just was like, I'm done. So I stopped having alcohol. And then about 5 days later, my wife comes to me and goes, I'm pregnant. So I was like, crap. So then she stopped drinking out of solidarity. And right. So that's why we quit drinking, because we didn't want to tell them we were pregnant yet. And I just didn't have it. So I ended up having a drink later, but it's so different now because after not drinking for 9 months, I think I had another drink, I want to say in September, August or September, was not the same.
It
And
doesn't
I
taste the
feel it.
same.
You feel it in your body. I just feel better and cleaner. And so if we have a drink, like we'll go out, I'll have a glass of wine, maybe. And I loved whiskey and bourbon. I solved a lot of world problems. Nobody implemented them,
Right.
but but that's what that I love a good whiskey, and I started getting into some of the little, E.H. Taylor, Stag, and all
Yeah.
those, all the pretty nice brands. But now I just collect them. So I have bottles just sit on my shelf, and when people come over, they're like, "Oh, can I'm like, yeah, go ahead, have some." I'm not. I'm good.
I haven't bought it in years. I just carry the bottles now. I remember I went over to like my uncle's house, and he got into, you know, whiskey and whatnot, for light drinking because, he's doing it because of the health benefits of it doesn't have carbohydrates, and he's sipping it. He's making mixed drinks. He's sipping it.
Okay.
No, not like that. I mean, he's got the whole bookshelf scenario with all the used bottles and just a
Oh,
few. Yeah, one of those things where, like your collection, you got the bottles that are completely empty. He got an oak barrel as like a table setting. You can put something on. So,
wow.
oh yeah, real fancy. It used to be like a place where they put the Christmas tree when my cousins were younger. Now it's their study room.
That's
But yeah,
funny.
he made an old fashioned for me, and I remember and I was drinking it. And it wasn't a whole lot. I think it was maybe
Doesn't take much.
a baller glass. It. I've gotten a little more tolerant now, but one time when I was younger, I drank to the point where it made me nauseous, not drunk and wanting to throw up, but nauseous. And
Yeah.
I could not drink excessively. I couldn't drink a lot ever. And so, like for football games, if I'm watching it with my stepdad, I'm having maybe 3 or 4 beers over the course of 4 hours. So, so it's and hard liquor is you're giving me a sip. I don't or a small shot. I'm not doing the whole let's get trashed. I'm with you. My body don't like that.
I'm good. Yeah. I'm just not a, yeah, I'm just not.
I would rather have fun sober anyways. You remember everything.
I do. And you know what? It's funny now. You see people drinking and you're like, "You're driving?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And you're like,
Nope. You're giving
"No,
me the
you're
keys,
not."
man.
So, yeah, it's, it's different, but I was there. I mean, I'm not going to knock people for, having a drink, just be responsible. That's, don't drive. That's the biggest thing.
Agreed.
So, yeah, but it's pretty good.
So, oh, you
Go
go.
ahead.
So for the tuna, I wanted to ask about the big old bluefin.
Yeah.
The bluefins are the big boys. The yellowfins are the long ones.
Yeah. 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 Bluefin is, so the bluefin, it comes out of, they actually, yeah, up in northern, Atlantic too, off of, Maryland and that. Those ones get up to over 1,000 pounds. Those ones are massive. The ones that come off of, San Diego, those ones they can range from 30 pounds, 40 pounds, all the way up to, I think the largest they had was just over 300 pounds is the biggest one. Um, I can't remember the exact weight, but those ones get big too. Yellowfin are very
Okay.
long,
Yep.
and then, or sorry, yellowtail are very long with the yellow tail. They're long and thin. A yellowfin looks like a bluefin, but then it has on its right in the middle of its body, it has a long literally a yellow fin that comes out all by itself.
Guys,
Yeah.
I'm using the cell phone to look at the pictures of them. I'm like, yep, that makes sense. And then,
We don't see too much yellowfin down there. You do occasionally, which are great, but right now bluefin are really good. I guess they had limited a bunch of people from in the Mexican waters, so the bluefin had been great for the last couple of days. The bluefin is it they're the bluefin can actually see the line in the water with the hook. So you have to be very careful. So it's called a lead line. It's uh, it's called Top Shot, which it's translucent and it has a little bit of a stretch to it. So a lot of people will put like 2 feet of that, but it's called 10-pound test or 20-pound. That's how much
yeah,
you're doing, but you're pulling up a fish that's 100 pounds. So when you're fishing, when they hook this fish, it's not like bass where you're throwing it in the water and then you're pulling it back and reeling it in and lifting, making it mimic something. You're putting live bait, a sardine on there or mackerel, and you're putting it in the water, and that thing's fishing, just swimming. And then you have a ball, a bait ball is what they call it. And you ever see them in the ocean? It's just a bunch of fish, hundreds of fish all together, and it looks like a ball, and they're all just spinning in the circle, and all the big fish are around it, and they're looking for that one that goes out, and then they would eat it. And that's what it is, just a ball of sardines.
nice.
And that's what they're eating. You're eating those sardines. So what we're doing is they capture them, we get them as bait, and then we put them in there. So then what we do is we put them in the water, and then they see it and they go, oh, that one's all by himself. Bluefin can catch it. It does about 25, 30 miles an hour in the water versus sardine that can go maybe 4.
Yeah,
So they literally just come in right behind it, open its mouth, and just swallow it whole. Well, if that thing's on your hook and that thing's doing 3, 4 miles an hour, it just goes zzz, zzz. Then that bluefin goes and you hear it goes zzz, and that's off. And then all you're doing is you got to wait because they'll spit the hook out or the bait out. So you got to wait for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you set the hook, which means you put drag on it. And then what happens is that hook starts to slow down, and then it catches the corner of the mouth, and then you're on, and then that thing is off to the races, and then you're holding on for dear life. The other part of bluefin is we go to the gym, we work well. We all go to the gym, we try to, right? We
yeah,
work out,
right.
we lift weights. When you get to pretty soon you can't lift anymore, you set it down and you got to get the blood back in your muscles, and then you work it and you do another 10 sets, whatever it is. Because you have to reoxygenate your blood. Bluefin never have to stop they automatically reoxygenate their blood.
Oh, good
So they
Lord.
just continually swim. But what happens is they quit. So what they call it a death roll, and then the fish will be swimming like this, and then it just turns sideways, and then it's just swimming in the water. And as it's coming down, it's maybe 200 feet down. You're basically lifting the rod up and then reeling down, and then lifting the rod up and then reeling down, lifting this weight up off the ground, up from the bottom of the ocean floor. And as it gets higher, there's more sunlight. It's not dark, and they freak out, and then they'll dive, and then you have to pull them up. So sometimes reeling in that bluefin can take a couple hours, 3, 4 hours sometimes. And if you're getting tired lifting this, then you have another friend. You're like, can you go? And then you hand it over, and they'll reel it up and bring it in. It's exhausting. It's not easy. There's people throw up afterwards.
Yeah,
It's
Jesus.
it's a big thing. It's just like everybody wants to do the deer hunt, but nobody wants to go track it and bring it, clean it, and bring the meat out, right? Nobody talks
Yeah,
about that part.
yeah. No, there's something cathartic about being elbow deep into the chest cavity of a deer. But I always think of that. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
this is
I got a javelina about 3 weeks ago. I went down to Laredo and I got a javelina. So that's
yeah,
my first that's my first hunting experience. But I didn't grow up because my dad was on the drill field, and we lived in California from 84 to 91, and I never got to experience that. So, and it's nothing on him. California really didn't give us those opportunities for people. They weren't friendly, or it just wasn't part of your lifestyle. that's the other thing too, is, making it part of the lifestyle, making it part of not only the veteran's lifestyle, but maybe the veteran and his kid. So we're doing a hike here on January 10th here at Fredericks Park. Just 8 a.m. meetup. We're going to go hiking. A bunch of people come out, socialize, meet each other, and hang out, and probably go grab some breakfast afterwards. It'll be fun. Yeah.
Dang, if only I wasn't living in Indiana and not visiting Texas.
Is that where you got your buck?
Yep. That guy, and two others in the living room. I got a doe this year.
Nice.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go out recently because this past Monday, obviously, I had surgery. So and the week before, and mother's had a stroke, which she's all right now. But it's like, yeah, okay, hunting season might be finished till I get my Christmas present. My wife already told me about. 22 pellet gun.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yep. I will be a terror to squirrels till I get limit, and then I can make squirrel tacos.
Squirrel tacos?
Oh yeah, I'm thinking Mexican. And I want to do the braised squirrel tacos.
Never had squirrel tacos.
I've had them one time, and that was because I had one squirrel. My wife's like, "No, thank you," but I want to actually, do a decent job on it.
We have a dove hunt we do every year here called Feathers for Freedom, and we get some dove, and then we shoot those and cook those up. We smoke them, put them in a jalapeno, wrap them in bacon with some, and then we put this raspberry chipotle over it, and you smoke it at 350 for about an hour. Oh, comes out so good.
I think the last time I went dove hunting, it was with my cousin, and we didn't get anything. And that was before his son and my daughter were born. That was about 2 years ago. Man, I am missing out on a lot of fun wing hunts. Hello, new best friend. So what got you into wanting to do more hunting aspect?
Honestly, I just like being outdoors. I think the therapy of being outside, even if it's just for a walk, that's what it was. Just being with nature. I never got to do that, but it was just something in me. As weird as it sounds, when we were in SEER school up in Maine, I remember walking through the forest, and it was kind of therapeutic. Nothing around, the quietness, just nature. It made a big difference. And it was peaceful in a weird way. So like when I was down in Laredo, even though everything there tries to kill you, even the vegetation, the weeds there are like razor blades. It's crazy. Ooh. Oh yeah. And it was not, you just don't want to be out. You want to be outside all the time. Now it was, again, this was a month ago, so it wasn't hot. Laredo, Texas gets freaking hot. But you think about the guys back, 100 years ago, the vaqueros, and all them that running through, that's crazy. They lived out there, cattle thriving, and that. So I've always wanted to try. I'm like, I've never done it. Let's try it, So, that's where it came out, and now I'm kind of hooked on it. I want to now it's get my first doe, get my first buck. I want to do elk. I shoot bow now. Dan got me into that. Well, our mutual friend Tier got me into that, and then we went to TAC, which is Total Archery Challenge. You ever heard of that?
Yeah, I've been still trying to get those guys to talk to them, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. So we went to Total Archery Challenge in Utah, and then went there, and then I did the one here in San Antonio this last year, and it's great. And just walking around for 3 hours with a bow in your hand, playing golf with, one shot, one target, one shot, and you just hang out with your friends, and it's great. It's a good time. So we're probably gonna get some veterans out and take them out for the day and doing that.
Sweet, man.
Yeah, we're actually having a fundraiser here at Buckendo's here right down the road, and we're going to do some shooting and stuff like that to see if we can get some veterans to come out and get involved, and that we'll cover the cost for the veterans and stuff like that. But yeah, it'll be good. It's going to be good. Hey, Dan with his company Aero Honor Co. They'll be involved, and yeah,
Dude, a buddy of mine that I want to get back on, Dr. Preston Ward of Mountain Physio. He
yeah,
loves working those TAC events.
yeah,
So that'd be cool.
yeah,
Have something like that because he does like rehabilitation for like, oh, my shoulder hurts or my body hurts.
yeah.
Here, let's get you some mobility instead of surgery, and I'll promote him left and right, and I don't care. And
Here's your first sponsor. See, here's your first sponsor.
I just promote him because I know he's been doing it. He's worked with people with disabilities. He's worked with everybody, and he literally just wants to help other people. I mean,
Yeah.
that's always something. I mean, if somebody says, "Oh, do you know a good veteran nonprofit?" I was like, "Let me write the list down."
Yeah, there's so many. There's it's funny when I got connected with Tier because him and were running the Black Rifles nonprofit side when they first started it.
Yeah,
They've changed now, obviously, after they went public, but they originally had an on nonprofit side of the business, and I remember talking to Tier who was heading that up, and he was telling me, I don't know how many emails I get a day, Joey. There's over 40,000 veteran nonprofits out there, always asking for money and funding and stuff like that. And how do you know? And they're not all good and they're not all bad, but it's finding out, doing the homework and figuring out the ones that are what, how are you making a difference? What impact are you making? And here's a hard truth. Me having that conversation, we sit there and talk about veteran suicide. And it's not something we talk about within our organization. But everybody's like, I want to bring awareness to it. Well, we're all aware of it. Everybody knows what 22 is. Everybody knows. How are you mitigating it? Like, what are you doing to impact it? How are you helping that? And that's the biggest thing is, what are you doing? Like, just bringing awareness to it isn't doing anything. You have to do something that's going to mitigate it. Is it going to save the lives of every veteran? No. But can it make an impact on one person's life? Yeah. And that's going to be enough. So that's what I challenge a lot of nonprofits to do. I'll collaborate. We've collaborated with Semper Fi Fund, Higher Ground, Until Death Collective. We will continue to do it if we can help out in any way. Some of them is just by funding. Some of them is just, hey, you have people, we have people. Let's get them together. But it should be a community effort. Collaborate over competition. That's a Dan Morgan. That's a Dan thing. He said that.
Yeah. I know. I listen to Unsubscribe on the occasion. Listen to those guys, and they're talking about when they're trying to look for nonprofits they donate to and everything. And like you were saying, it's like you got to figure out which one is the good one and which one's not going to screw over your people. And I'd like to say from my own personal perspective, because obviously I talk to a lot of nonprofits over the years now. Probably not as many as Tito did with the 150,000 emails, but I'd say, well, I got personal experience talking with the individuals of the nonprofits, and I gotta say 90% of the nonprofits are still viable, in my opinion.
Yeah, there still are. I mean, it's just finding out which ones are good, and that's really what it just comes down to.
And then finding out, okay, what's going to happen? What is going to happen with the money? Where is it going to go? And I've asked people before, and I say this as a rule of thumb is if the people aren't making money doing the nonprofit, you're generally going to see, and all the profit proceeds are going to helping the individuals. I say those are generally a pretty good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
So, do you see yourself and your nonprofit going Atlantic bluefin fishing?
We do.
For up to 8 hours?
We do. Those ones you'll need a crane to lift it out of the water though, because there's no way you're gonna pull that weight over it. But yeah, I do.
Oh,
I want to get out there. I'd love to go out there. That is not for the faint of heart. That water out there, mm-mm.
ice cold.
Ice cold. Not only that, is the swells. We've had some days where it's bad, and if you don't have sea legs or not used to being out on the ocean, yeah, don't go, because as those swells, you'll be blowing chunks. You'll be chumming the waters. They won't need to put bait out. You'll be making it for them.
That's both a
It's no
good
joke.
thing and a bad thing.
We went out one time and they were making, no joke, they were making spaghetti for dinner on a boat. Yeah, I know. Boiling water in a pot. You're like, how does it stay on they have this contraption they made to where
Oh
the
yeah,
pot
I've
doesn't
seen
melt.
them.
Yeah. But it's crazy, and man, they fed us. I blew chunks so bad all over the rail. Tito was laughing at me. It was but the swells were like 11-foot swells. So he's one of the guys like, I've never seen it this rough out here. It was one of the worst days. It was pretty bad. I'll never
Yeah,
forget
there's like
that.
that. I would love to do bluefin fishing, and I know I'm sounding crazy when I say marlin.
Marlin? Marlin's a
Uh,
different game. Go to Florida for Marlin. But Marlin is not like what you think. Um they're it's a different fishing because you're actually chasing the marlin. The boat is actually going. A lot of times the boat will be going in reverse. Um, the this girl that fishes with us, Lisa, um, she fishes on. If she can be fishing every day, she would. Um, uh, but she fishes. She's caught. It's on our Instagram. So we have every year we do an all female charter, which we just bring female veterans on the boat. It's all female, no men at all, and she runs that. And
nice.
she's caught. I want to say it's like a 90-pound blue. I mean, it was massive. It's not as they're not as heavy as bluefin. It's crazy. She goes, yeah, this one was only 80 pounds. I was like, what? I mean, I haven't caught a marlin yet. I'd love to, but it's dangerous because they'll come out of the water and you see them catch and they'll come right into the bottom of the boat.
Yeah.
One I want to get is a barracuda.
Ooh.
Not a barracuda. Man, I can't think of the name of it.
It's a race car, basically.
It is those, but their teeth are razor sharp.
I think it is.
It's not a barracuda. It's a
No,
I can't think of the name of it.
it's not a
They're down.
skipjack.
They're down south of San Diego. The Lijo Rocks is where it is, and I forget what the name of it. But they're long and they're really thin, but their teeth are so razor sharp. If it just touches you, it'll rip your leg apart, and you're getting stitches.
I'm looking right now.
Yeah, I forget what the name of the fish is, but that one.
See.
But it's not a barracuda. It's wahoo. Look up a wahoo.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
there's for fast fish razor teeth. People think barracuda,
Yeah.
but
See.
it could be fast striking mackerel,
Yeah.
needlefish, but
So
yeah,
it's very
wahoo.
long and thin, and it's got like really razor sharp teeth.
Wahoo
So
Ona.
yeah.
Oh, good lord, dude.
So the fishing out there here that we do out in Texas, we've gone out and we go after reds. And reds they're decent size. They're about this big and they're great. Yeah. Yep.
Oh my god. Those
Yeah.
things I was thinking like
It'll
bigger.
rip your leg apart. Yeah.
I was thinking like they were majorly like big teeth, like kind of like a barracuda or one of the other species, but no, that's like
Yeah.
that's
They're
like a
razor sharp.
bluefish.
Yep. It'll fuck you up. But out here in Texas, we do red. So you go into the bay down in Port A or Corpus area, and they'll have the water's only like maybe 3 feet deep. You could stand there like a fly fishing, and there's sharks everywhere. And you fish those, and you can get reds. And then if you go further out by the oil rigs, then you'll get Dorado, Yellowtail, and some of like blackfin and bluefin and smaller ones. Not the big ones like out in the Pacific. But yeah, you get some decent fish there too.
So, where do you see your nonprofit going in the future?
Um, Honestly, it's just we just slowly grow, and what we're finding is a lot of veterans that have gone on the trips are like, I want to get more involved. How do I get more involved? And it starts to give them purpose. And
Uh-huh.
our job is to just give them guidance and give them the resources they need to keep it growing. Because there's going to be a day when I'm not here anymore, and hopefully, what Rewards is providing is an opportunity for veterans to find peace and find resources and find purpose uh, in just every day being there for veterans because every generation changes. When did you serve? When were you in?
Me, I was unfortunately not allowed to serve.
Oh, okay.
I tried to get in, but I was born with bilateral club feet, heart murmur, malformed calf muscles, couldn't do the duck walk, had surgeries, pain every step I take, basically, inflamed and scar tissue on the Achilles tendon. I was trying to get a medical waiver. This is back when I was 19 or
Yeah.
so, like I said, family served. I got a cousin that served. Me being, I graduated in 03, so 9/11 was still lovely and
Okay.
fresh in my mind. But yeah, Navy doc said, and I think I scored, it was the pre-ASVAB thing, they like, okay, let's get you in here. And he said, I want to say I scored a 98, but like I said, it's been 20 years since I talked
Yeah.
about or did anything like that. I don't know for certain, but yeah, Navy doctor next door, because I was trying to go Marine Corps. They had me almost ready to go in to San Diego, but
Yeah.
then yeah, Navy doc said, nope, can't say yes. So
That
that
happens. It happens. But
I was thinking for the next like 2-3 years, okay, how do I do the contractor work to get people with disabilities over to fighting these things, like the A team and all that fun stuff?
contract work, that's all it is. Contract work.
Yeah, right.
uh, but yeah, that's where we see it going. It's just anybody that making a place for them to find purpose, and not every some people just come and make the camaraderie and they go on their separate way, and that's totally fine. That's what the nonprofit's for. But it's also we see those individuals that come in, and there's a lot of work. It's not I barely do any of the events anymore. I'm do a lot more of the back office and speaking, doing stuff like this, and getting the word out of what it is and how people can support it. Go, you can go to the website if you want to support it and go donate. Do the $10 a month thing, or you just want to do a flat donation. That always helps out, and all the money goes right back to the nonprofits, to the veterans. It's not nobody's getting paid. It's not paying for. I think we're down to 92 cents of every dollar goes toward the mission and getting people veterans together.
Yeah, and the other 10 cents usually goes just to keep the thing up and running with the lights on.
That's literally does. It pays for legal fees and um, what pays for the website and stuff like that. We try to keep it very minimal. And if we're buying hats or shirts and anything, we're giving it to them as gifts. I mean, that's the whole point is for them to have, getting them gear so they can continue on afterwards because it's not cheap. If we can get in-kind donations, that's even better.
I mean,
Um,
heck, you were talking about a freaking yacht with what, 10 or 20 people on it?
yeah.
That the fuel, food, everything, yeah, that ain't cheap.
Okay. Yeah. It's not. So on average, to go fishing, it's about $1,000 a person. So each charter is about 25 to $30,000, depending on how many veterans we get on the boat. We'll buy the entire boat, and then yeah, that's
That's my truck, literally the cost of my truck.
yeah. So we fundraise for that. We do
Oh,
fundraisers.
oh,
We do our dove hunt here in Texas called Feathers and Freedom. It's a dove hunt in September. We have our SoCal Bonanza, which is a surf fishing competition in Southern California. We have our Fins and Fairways golf tournament, which is here in Texas. We have a Warrior Ruck that's up in Frankfort, Illinois. That's in May.
That's
So,
near me.
and all we're doing is doing these events to where we can fundraise. We have our end of year gala here in San Antonio as well. That is pretty awesome. It's Tides of Gratitude. This last year we had Kirstie Ennis as our guest speaker. We have probably we're working on our next guest, and there's a couple options out there. So,
Nice.
It'll be exciting, but we do that.
Eli double tap.
Yeah, we have a couple of we have some silent auction items and live auction items, so it's a good time. It's a good time.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
So, do you want to tell everybody how to reach you?
Yeah, if you want, you can go to realwarriorsfoundation.org, just like it is on my shirt. REEL warriorsfoundation.org is our website. If you're a veteran, you can sign up, join, and get on our list. You can also join our community page on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, RWF Community, which is just a place to where a forum where we can all get together and talk. And there's people from California, Texas, all over Idaho. We're just now getting into Idaho. We're going to be looking at doing some quail hunting up there, and possibly into some snowboarding and skiing. So if you like to go on the mountain, but that's what we do. And then you can also follow us on Instagram, Real Warriors Foundation, as well. So plenty of places. And if you have any questions, you can always go right to our website and just reach out to us.
Well, Joey, thank you for coming on and talking about the Real Warriors. Laura and I completely just fumbled the ball.
That's okay. That's it. Just pick it up and keep going. Just keep going.
Real Warriors Foundation. I was thinking organization for some odd reason. It's like real simple. Real Warriors Foundation. And thank you for talking about it and telling about the amazing stories of camaraderie, hunting, fishing, and helping veterans out. And remember, everybody, stay adaptive.
Take it easy, Sean. Thanks.